So actually, my first night. Okay, and so this is another thing too. Why I actually my first night. It was maybe my first or second night. You know, I didn't know. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you know if you've lived in a place for a while, you wake up and you're like half asleep and you need to go to the bathroom, right? And so typically you just go do it, and you kind of also like, I didn't have any lights or anything, and I was just like going off of like what I remembered. And in the past, like in my parents' house, I know, you know, I grew up there. I can walk with my eyes closed around the house and find everything, you know what I mean? I kid you not, I thought my room, I came out of the bathroom, I thought my room was down the steps. So I left the bathroom. I was so freaking tired. I left the bathroom, forgot where I came from, and walked down the steps and nearly died. This was the second night living there. So that, I think it's like, and then I realized, I was like, why? Like look how dangerous, you know, these steps are. Well, that was one thing. And then secondly, this is something that my landlord, you know, the owner of this building doesn't know yet, is I actually locked myself out. I locked myself out. Again, this was around the first, it's like the first 2 months I was living here. And so I was started to freak out, you know, because nobody had an extra key. The extra key was in here. And so what I did was I decided, okay, like you're smarter than this, dude. Like, let's climb in. And so that was the first idea. I tried to jump on like the windows beneath me, but figured like that's not a good look because, you know, there are people that live there. And then I was looking around and I was like, you know, that guy has a tall truck. Maybe I can ask him to pull the truck up and you know, I can climb into the window. And I was like, that's also crazy. And I was gonna do it. But I had to work up the courage to do it, you know? So before I could do it, I had to be like psych myself. You know what I mean? When you're about to do something that you're just like, you kind of don't really want to do, but you're like, I feel like I have to. Like you ask a girl like to go to dinner that you've been crushing over for so long. So I had to work up the courage. And so it's getting later, it's getting dark. This is in the summer, by the way. And I'm like, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna get my head clear. I'm gonna go take a walk. And let me get that. There we go. Oh, it's a little too bright. And so I decided to take a walk down the street just to kind of clear my head. And as I'm walking, I started thinking, oh man, there's like other people here. And so this guy starts to nearly intersect my path. And this is during Corona as well. This sun is killing me, sorry. All right, there we go. Does that one work? Jesus. And so I'm walking down the street, right? I'm outside of the apartment and I leave the ground, like the property. And I'm like, I'm just gonna take a walk. And my phone is like on like 30%, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, I gotta figure something out quick or else I'm gonna die. Like that's what's going on. Obviously thinking back, like somebody could help me, you know, someone would like, a neighbor could let me in. But I texted my landlord and I say, hey, I think I need you to come and let me in. I got locked out. Never answered at all. Like never, we talked like after that, but never ever brought that up. Like it took weeks for us to actually talk and I didn't ever, you know what I mean? So the dude was like sitting on someone else's toilet somewhere, not answering my text. And so I took a walk down the street. I didn't get that far. And I was thinking like, I can go knock on their house or I can knock on their door. I can knock on their door. Somebody needs to have a ladder, right? Somebody needs to have a ladder. And so as I'm walking, I swear to God, I was walking for 30 seconds. This guy is walking across the grass towards the sidewalk, and this is Corona too, so I was like, should I stop and let him pass, or like, are we gonna run into each other? I don't wanna get near him, he's kind of old, oh my God. And then finally, I let him go by me, and then I walked by him, and I was like, ask him. You know, the voice in my head was like, come on, ask him, you're gonna die, you're gonna starve out here. And then I was like, no, come on, he's gonna think you're crazy. This is all in like 2 seconds, you know what I mean? Just like yelling at myself in my head. Finally, I stopped, and I said, hey. And he said, oh, hi. I was like, do you have a ladder? And I kid you not, he stared, and this, of course, this could have come out better, right? But I was totally like just, my thoughts were, I was also a little nervous because I thought I was going to sleep outside. And so I just said, do you have a ladder? And he's like, excuse me? And I was like, and then I realized, I was like, I sound insane, you know what I mean? And I was like in like really just normal clothes, like I looked like I was almost homeless. And I was like, look, I live right down the street. I just moved in, I locked myself out. I live on the top floor. I need to borrow a ladder to break in because I also know, by the way, this is another thing that's cool about the apartment, the windows don't lock, they're always open. They're always open. And I said, I need to get up to one of my windows, open it so I can go in. All of that came out, and then I was like, holy shit, I sound like a criminal. You know what I mean? Like, who's he gonna be? And he was like, you know, and then I was like, I know this doesn't sound good, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I just need someone with a ladder. And he was like, I'm not, this is what he first said. He said, you know, I'm not sure if I have a ladder. And I was like, yeah, and I was like, you know, reasonable, not, you know, I mean, I don't know if I have a ladder, if someone asked me. And then I started talking to him. I started putting in my charm, you know what I mean? Maybe a little too flirtatious, who knows in hindsight. And so I said, you know, well, look, if it turns out, like, I see you're probably nervous about me, but look, you can take a picture of my ID, you know, you can do all this, like, I can prove to you that I live here. Let's figure this out. Like, please, I really need your help. I can't get in. My landlord's not answering. And he was like, okay, so Mr. I'm not sure if I have a ladder says, come follow me. And so now I'm following him, and I'm just like, and so I'm thinking, I have this duality in my head. I'm like, well, on the one hand, in my mind, I'm like, this guy could be a killer, a serial killer that had just stumbled upon the easiest kill of his life, right? Because I'm like, take me to your ladder. And he brings me to this crazy freaking garage, like away from the street, you can't see it. Takes me to this garage, and yeah, it's like right around this way. Again, I'm like, dude, how does he know that I don't want to kill him and rob him? You know what I mean? And so he takes me around the corner. Now we're totally hidden. If I had a knife, boom, stabbed him, no one would have seen it. Same thing. We're both in very, very vulnerable situation. He opens up his garage. I swear to God, he has 6 ladders. 6 ladders. This is, you know, I don't know if I have a ladder. 6 ladders of all different heights. Some are this tall. Some are like as tall as the Empire State, in this freaking garage. And so I was like, I made a joke because I was still pretty nervous, and I was trying to like ease the tension, because I was like, he walked straight in. It's dark. It's kind of, it's not safe. It's scary in there. And he went in. He's like, come on in. And I was like, I need to make a joke because I'm like about to piss like he could kill me. And I was like, I thought you didn't have any ladders. Or no, what did I say? I was like, I made a joke about it, whatever. And so I help him carry it out. We carry it all the way down the street, 30 seconds down the street. And I was like, that's the one, you know, like sounding like a criminal again. That's the one we're gonna break into right now. It was my apartment. And so we tried different places, and we find this one window right here in the kitchen window, and basically we put it up, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna hold it. Why don't you climb up? And again, I'm like, this guy, I'm talking about trust, like this guy's holding this freaking ladder. I'm going way up. It's like a couple meters up, you know? And so I climb all the way up, and I go to open the window. The screen, the outside thing is like shut, and I can't open it. And I was like, crap, you know? I was like, man, like, I'm so sorry I wasted your time. I'm done, man. I can't get in. The screen's in the way. And he was like, oh, don't worry. Pulls out a knife. He's carrying this knife. He pulls out a knife like this big. Like this big. pulls out a knife and opens it, and I was like, oh, I should cut in. He was like, you gotta cut it. And I was like, okay, well, so thank you. And so I reach out my hand and I was like, go ahead, throw it to me. And he was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And I was like, yeah, you're right, I could probably hurt myself. He's like, and before I could finish, like, yeah, I don't wanna, you know, it could hurt me. He was like, I don't wanna damage the window. And so I climbed back down, took the knife, put it in my mouth like a pirate, went all the way up. I cut the whole thing open, and he was like, no! And I was like, what? And as you can see, it's like really, it's just shredded. You know, the thing is like completely open. And I was like, what? What's wrong? I was like, I had to cut it. And he was like, you only had to just do a tiny piece. I had to change my memory. I ran out of space on the camera. That's the camera saying that I'm talking too much, but almost done. And so as I climbed back up, I cut the thing, you know, and he's like, dude, you should have done it like this. You would have saved the screen. You could have put your fingers behind it, opened it up without making too much damage. And I was like, you've done this? And he was like, I know screens. And so I was like, okay. And so whatever, I lifted the thing, I opened the window, and I was like, I'm climbing in now. I'll give you back your knife when I come out the front door. And he, like, of course, that's what he cared about. And so I went in, ran around back, you know, I opened the door, got my key, and went back down, and I gave him his knife back. I didn't stab him. I gave him his knife back, and I was like, hey, man, like, I can't believe, like, I thank you so much, like, the fact that you trusted me, you know, like, to do this and blah, blah, blah. He's like, so, yeah, but he was like, yeah, but how do I know, you know, that you actually live here? And so, yeah, he took a picture of my thing, and I was like, look, call the cops if you hear about a break-in. It was me, but it wasn't, but it was me, you know, but I do live here, and thank you so much, and now you know how to break into my apartment. And that was that. Thanks for listening, guys.